is the 2021 Chicago Bulls ceiling. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, man, be here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan, hit that big red subscribe button down below and make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms, guys, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Okay, so you see the title, right? What am I talking about? I'm talking about what is the Bulls ceiling this upcoming season, right? It's been a very fun offseason. We added a lot of major pieces, and I was just watching the press conference for Lonzo Ball and looking at the comments that DeMar DeRozan made, and you know, it just got me so hyped because these guys are so happy to be a Chicago Bull. And so I'm here thinking, you know, what's the ceiling for this team? How good can they be in year one of this new core, which of course consists of our five pieces in Lonzo, DeRozan, Zach, Vooch, and Pat Williams, right? Our entire projected starting five. And I alluded to this when we made these moves of kind of how good the Bulls can potentially be. And I wanted to revisit and see if I felt any differently now that it's been some time, right? I was maybe on the high of the Bulls signing all these players. Let's really revisit it now. So here we go. Here are the East standings from last year. I just wanted to pull this up for you guys so you guys can see, okay? So these were the teams in order. And as you can notice, the Bulls are not on here because they were below the Hornets, okay? So these were the teams that made the playoffs last year in terms of the seeding. Or excuse me, they didn't make the playoffs, but this is the seeding. And how good can the Bulls be here, right? When you take a look at all of these teams. And where I want to really start with is this, all right? Last season, after the Nikola Vucevic trade, I thought the Bulls were a lock playoff team. I thought they were a stone cold lock to make the playoffs. And of course they didn't. So I don't want to get too high and just be completely crazy optimistic and say, oh my goodness, the Bulls are just going to absolutely destroy now, because the last time I thought that would happen, and I didn't say destroy, I meant they made the playoffs, it didn't end up coming true. Now, there's various reasons for that, okay? You can say chemistry. Zach was out a lot of games due to COVID. You can come up with a million different excuses. Point is, they just didn't get it done, and it was very, very disappointing. And the season ended, and I was just very disgusted with what I saw with the Bulls. Now, again, new season, new talent on the team, new core. How do I see it shaking out? Chemistry is definitely going to take some time. You got 3 20-point scores, folks. There's only one basketball, right? Who's going to decide, you know, who's the number one guy? Does DeRozan know that Zach is higher than him in the pecking order? Does Nikola Vucevic know he's third maybe in the pecking order? So all these things need to get figured out. That's Billy Donovan's job, right? And the other thing, does everybody know their role? Does Lonzo know he's not going to score a lot? He's going to be the facilitator, right? And he's going to just be able to play defense, rebound, and pass the ball. Does Patrick Williams know he's not going to get to shoot a lot or score a lot? He's going to just rebound and defend. So does everybody know their roles? Is Kobe okay with coming off the bench? You know, is Ayo in his first year as a rookie okay with knowing that he might not get much, if any, playing time? So all of these things need to be ironed out. And so the chemistry is my main issue here. Is I think it's going to take some time for this Bulls team to gel. But I do think eventually they will get it together. And when you take a look at these other teams that have been together for years now, right? With the Bucks, you know, with the Hawks, even the Heat. I know they added Kyle Lowry, but the core of their team has been there for a couple of seasons now. Like, it's going to be hard to all of a sudden put together, you know, our team and just assume we're better than everybody. Usually it only happens when you have superstars. And even then, right, the Heat in their first year with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, they didn't win. So it doesn't always happen, right? Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers thinking he would win his first year. He didn't. LeBron went to the Lakers thinking he would win his first year. He didn't. So it doesn't always happen in your first season. It usually takes a season or two to gel. So with all that said, absolutely, if you don't make the playoffs, it's an unmitigated disaster. Like, that's awful. So playoff is a given, right? So playoff is a given. So let me actually just go back to the board here and do this exercise for you guys. Because if you don't make the playoffs with 3 20-point scorers, borderline all-star and Lonzo Ball, and you know, a couple of young ascending players, I don't know what's going on at that point. So the teams that make the playoffs, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. you have the cutoff line right here. You absolutely need to make the playoffs. So the Bulls can be better than the Hornets. They can be better than the Pacers, though I do like the Pacers next year with Karis LeVert. Full season with him, Sabonis, Brogdon. That's a nice squad they have there. The Wizards, they can be better than the Wizards. They can be better than the Celtics. Really, the Celtics downgrade a lot this year. I mean, they just have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, which is a good duo. But to me, you take a look at Dennis Schroeder. They signed him. Brought back Enes Kanter. Really not too much that they had that I was impressed with. Now, the Miami Heat, this is going to be a tough team. I can't say the Bulls are going to be better than the Heat. The Atlanta Hawks, I can't say right away the Bulls will be better than the Heat. The New York Knicks, I can't say the Bulls will be better than the Heat. They were a 4 seed. And even these other teams right here, Nets, Bucks, you can't say that. And then the 76ers, again, what's going to happen with Ben Simmons? This is a bit of a question mark here because if they get, you know, a Dame Lillard, for instance, in a Ben Simmons package, now all of a sudden you're not better than that team. So essentially what I've basically done is said, okay, if you take a look at the teams that you can't say for sure the Bulls, you know, are going to be better than, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 or 6 teams. So the Bulls, at worst, I mentioned this before, should be a 5, 6 seed in the East. At worst, all right? You have to at least be at this level. This is obviously a playoff team because only 8 teams make the playoffs, but you can be better than all these teams. Now, when you break it down with the rest of these teams right here, right, with the Hawks, with the Knicks don't have the talent the Bulls do. They have Julius Randle, right, who is an all-star. I get that. RJ Barrett's improving. They signed Evan Fournier. I like D-Rose off the bench. Kemba Walker was a very solid signing. But how many all-stars are on that roster right now? How many legitimate 20-point scorers do you have? Julius Randle, 1. And then maybe Kemba Walker if he's healthy. D-Rose can give you buckets. I like that. But talent-wise, the Bulls are better. And that's just a fact, all right? The Atlanta Hawks, crazy Cinderella run they had. Trae Young, love him. He's fantastic. John Collins is a beast. Clint Capella can board with just about anybody. Bogdanovich is solid. Talent-wise, they're really good. So I got to give Atlanta their respect. All-star-wise, I mean, it's really just Trae Young and, you know, no one else. But talent-wise, they're deep. They're good. So to me, I still can't say the Bulls are better than the Hawks. But they can be. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to say that they can be. The Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. That's a solid core right there that you have. So you can't say that the Bulls, you know, are going to be better than that team. Could they beat the Heat? I could see it. I could see it. So 76ers a question mark. I mentioned that. And then you got the Nets and the Bucks. I don't see any scenario where the Nets don't beat the Bulls or aren't better than the Bulls unless guys are out with injuries. And then the Bucks, they won the championship. Obviously, you got to give them their respect, so I'll say that they're better. So to me, ceiling-wise, at best case, and I mentioned this before, but it's just walking through the process with you guys. Best case, the only 2 teams you know for a fact that are better are the Nets and the Bucks. All right? Those 2 teams are a tier above everybody. The Bulls, though, I will say, have more talent than even Milwaukee maybe at this point, right? It's comparable, but I do think Milwaukee's better. I didn't say they're a better team. I just said talent. Keep that in mind, okay? The Bucks are defending champions. So then, really, what are we talking about here? We're talking about that next tier with Miami, with Atlanta, and then that New York. So, basically, the ceiling is 3, right? The 3rd best team in the East after the Nets and the Bucks. But more realistically, you're probably hovering around this range, right? 4 and 5 range. So you're essentially what I like to say, you know, a 2nd round team. So you've got your lottery teams, you've got your playoff teams, you've got your 1st round exits, 2nd round exits, and you've got your contenders, championship contenders. The Bulls are probably in that 1st, 2nd round exit, kind of right there in terms of that ceiling. Because like I said, first year is the hardest because of chemistry. You know, guys have to gel, know their roles and everything. So talent is there. Love the talent. but the chemistry has to be put together. And so to me, ceiling-wise, yeah, you can get to a 3rd seed. You could be a 2nd-round team. Heck, I could even see them making a conference finals, but I just don't think that they're going to make that leap in year 1. So more realistic ceiling to me is a 4 or 5 seed and a 2nd-round team for the Chicago Bulls. So let me know what you guys say. Agree or disagree? Am I crazy here? Am I being too low? Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks for watching.